Tuesday, 19 April, The Gap News This Morning, podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First, the headlines. Malaysia Airlines to provide an extra 7,000 seats for festive season. Indonesia halts search for teenage Dutch diver. Sudden trend of teachers quitting early, worrying, says NUTP. E-scooter rules soon. Driving licenses may be needed. Ukraine war, battle for Donbass has begun, says Zelensky. Nearly 3 tons of cocaine seized off the Canaries. And Chelsea 2-0 Crystal Palace, Blues again show ability to thrive amid chaos. And now the news in full. Malaysia Airlines Berhad will mount 20 additional frequencies from Kuala Lumpur to Kuching, Sandakan, Tawau and Kota Kinabalu during the Hari Raya peak travel period. The flights beginning April 28 until May 8 are to accommodate the domestic travel surge. In a statement Monday, the national carrier said with the additional frequency, more than 7,000 seats would be made available. Fares will be dynamically adjusted downwards for customers to enjoy low fares, it said. Indonesian authorities have stopped their search for Dutch diver Nathan Renzi Chesters, aged 14, who was reported to have died after he went missing on April 6 while diving at Pulau Tokong Sanggol. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency had sought the assistance of the Indonesian National Search and Rescue Agency, Basarnas, after Nathan was believed to have drifted into Indonesian waters. Mersing Maritime Director Haruniza Mersan said the search operation officially ended at 7 p.m. Sunday, as no evidence of the teenager was found in the waters of Pulau Bintan, Indonesia. In a statement, he said the Basarnas Operation Center in Tanjung Pinang had announced that the operation had stopped after a 7-day search that began on April 10th in the Indonesian waters. With an increasing number of teachers opting to retire early, the National Union of the Teaching Profession, NUTP, is worried that the problem will become serious if nothing is done to stem the tide. The union said that according to its estimates, more than 10,000 have been submitting their papers annually for early retirement over the last few years. This is in addition to the equal number of teachers who are leaving the service on mandatory retirement. New rules on micro-mobility vehicles are to be announced by the government soon, which could include requiring a driving license for e-scooters capable of going faster than 50 kilometers per hour. A comprehensive list of the types of vehicles considered micro-mobility vehicles would be issued, said Transport Minister Wee Ka Seong in a media interview. He said it was now a trend for some electric bicycles to be faster than motorcycles, China Press reported, and they could cause accidents if the rider went too fast and lost control. We said the Road Transport Act had been amended to cover micro-mobility vehicles, and its ministry would soon reveal comprehensive proposed rules for the use of such vehicles. The rules would include what types of vehicles would be allowed on public roads and what conditions riders would require a driving license. Ukraine war. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia's large-scale offensive in the eastern Donbass region has begun. We can now confirm that Russian troops have begun the battle for the Donbass, which they have been preparing for a long time. The Secretary of Ukraine's National Security Council had earlier said Moscow tried to break through defenses in the Donetsk, Luhansk and Kharkiv regions. Ukrainian officials say Russia's bombardment of several cities across the country has killed at least 17 people. 7 people died when multiple missiles hit the western city of Lviv, which had largely escaped attack until now. The UN is reporting that more than 4.9 million Ukrainians have now fled the country as a result of the war. Nearly 3 tons of cocaine hidden aboard a fishing boat have been seized off the coast of Spain's Canary Islands, officials said Monday. The drugs were stowed in the boat's fuel tank, and 5 members of the crew, 4 Turks and a Georgian, were detained during an operation that took place on Wednesday, said a joint statement by the Spanish National Police, National Guard and the Finance Ministry. Spain is the main entry point of drugs into Europe, with marijuana shipments coming from North Africa and cocaine coming from Latin America. And now for some sports news. Chelsea may have a new name above the door at Stamford Bridge in the coming weeks, but some things never change, and they delivered the evidence once more by beating Crystal Palace to reach their third successive FA Cup final. In recent years, Chelsea have been the exception to the often quoted rule that stability sustains success. A consistent supply of silverware arriving in West London despite regular managerial changes and expensive shifts in personnel. Chelsea have shown a remarkable ability to defy the game's natural laws, thriving amid what the outside world deemed as chaos, buffeted by the sort of turbulence usually associated with crisis. It has not mattered whether the club was undergoing seismic change on or off the pitch, and occasionally both, as Chelsea have a winning mentality that appears able to overcome all obstacles. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. Malaysia Airlines to provide an extra 7,000 seats for the festive season. Indonesia halts search for teenage Dutch diver. Sudden trend of teachers quitting early, worrying, says NUTP. E-scooter rules soon. Driving licenses may be needed. Ukraine war, battle for Donbass has begun, says Zelensky. Nearly 3 tons of cocaine seized off the Canaries. Chelsea 2-0 Crystal Palace. Blues again show ability to thrive amid chaos. This has been the Gap News this morning, Tuesday, 19 April, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.